What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Undrafted and Overconfident podcast. Tonight, we're recording on a Sunday, November 16th, 2025. I'm Jason Semko. With me, Brandon Bigo Gordon.
An apologetic Bigo to start.
Yeah, it's after 2 episodes, we're already backtracking a little bit.
We've had a few high markers, right? We've had our first troll. Of course, it's somebody that we know, but hey, we made it. I feel like that's an accomplishment in itself.
That is massive success to me.
Right? It's like we haven't really made it until we got somebody pooping on what we're doing.
Yeah, that means we're doing something right, or at least we're in people's thoughts and minds.
And then, of course, the other thing that we heard a lot of reverberation on was a little bit more profanity on that second one, mostly due to your boy Bigo.
Just a scotch. I will say before you get into it, I loved the passion.
There was passion behind the F-bombs,
and
for sure.
And in the first few episodes, I think the audience seeing that is very important, though, to know that you are that passionate about your topics. But maybe
tone it down a little bit.
Maybe.
So, I mean, I do understand that this is a podcast for the masses, right? And I don't want to, it's got mass appeal, it's got juice, and I don't want anything that I'm doing that's turning it down. So this is my formal apology to our doting fans of all ages, of all creeds and colors and everything else in between, that I will be scaling back those 4-letter words that George Carlin made so ever so famous, and we'll leave it to George Carlin. We'll leave it for the stand-up. I can try my stand-up on something else other than this podcast, so you'll see a much more reserved, still passionate, but more docile Bigo moving forward, which some might like, some might not. You might still see cracks in the armor. We'll try and keep it down there, because it started to make me think in what circles it's like profanity has really become faux pas and very much on the outskirts. And I feel like there was a time, maybe like the early 2000s, you know what I blame? I blame MTV. Bringing the Ozzy Osbourne in our living room. He's like, "Oh, Sharon." And he's dropping the C word, and everybody's like, "Take the bleeping dog out for a walk now. You hear?" That was terrible. But I blame the MTV for just poisoning my brain and really limiting my vocabulary. So I'm going to try better and more precise with my words.
I won't lie. I was a little surprised at all the feedback we got about it. I do understand it. And if we ever go to like a pay model, I mean, let the obscenities fly. I thought there were a few segments where it was a little overdone, but I felt the passion was there. It does seem like on these podcasts, the less abrasive language seems to be wanted. And I don't know if that's like has Gen Z gotten to us?
I think maybe Gen Z's gotten to us. They're not drinkers. They don't use profanity. They're all about clean living and clean speaking.
Which is good. I mean, you want people to be healthy and thoughtful, but can you take a joke?
I'll take a joke, and also I'm just like, you got to have some flaw. You can't be perfect all the time. And it's like, if you're giving me this perfect persona, then I worry about what's really deep and dark. If you're dropping an F-bomb or you're throwing around a few curse words, I'm like, all right, well, that's his or her, because they, both genders can throw them out. That tells me that, okay, you're not perfect. But if you're towing the lines like, I don't drink, I don't swear, I don't do this,
you don't get to really know any of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas now I feel like the audience really knows you.
Yes.
Whether
knows me
it's
as having
right
a
or
potty
wrong.
mouth. Elaine Abraham, I'm so sorry. Please don't stop listening to us. My God.
We can't afford to lose any more listeners.
Yeah. We've only got 25. I think we already dropped.
We're down to 18.
Oh, my God. Shame on all of you for not spreading the word.
Yeah, we're going to really rely on you all to spread the word right now, since we're not quite on the socials yet.
Yeah, no, we're not.
But I will say, Brandon, I hope you're not done with your apologies.
There'll be plenty more.
Because I think there's one person you should single out to apologize to.
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
Your co-host?
For what?
For what? I believe you told me to go F myself.
Okay, all right.
That hurt.
Oh, get out of here.
I was doing nothing but trying to educate
Bleeding
you.
heart, Semko.
Show you the facts, show you things that you were missing, and you just out of nowhere go, yeah, you gave some good facts. Hey, go F yourself. Still hurts.
Yeah,
Almost didn't want to do this podcast anymore.
I'm sure you ran home to your loving wife's arms and ugly cried right into her shoulder all night long, probably while, eating a Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey and watching your favorite soaps.
No, strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake, yes, of course. My apologies.
I've struggled to sleep.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Well, this is where we differ very much, because I started thinking about it as well, Mr. Jason Semko, and I was like, come to think of it, I don't know if I really hear Jason swearing too much. He's not a profanity guy. He does not dumb down his language for this. So I'm curious to see. It's not even in your vocabulary. Why don't you share?
Brandon, I'm a professional.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You are still learning the ropes, I guess.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So catch up to me.
Okay. I'll try. Yeah.
And we'll make this thing fly.
Well, let me ask you this. Then when is it okay for you, Mr. Prim and Pristine Jason Semko, to drop a few 4-letter words out there? When do you use them, if ever?
I personally like to use them when I'm on the sports field.
I knew you were going to say that.
And anyone that I'm competing against is in the line of fire.
Oh, really? All right. You do a little trash talk.
Absolutely. Probably way too much for rec league sports. But I always don't want to be the instigator. I typically wait for somebody else to kind of come at me or my teammates.
You're like, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
I use any of that just to say what I want to say.
All right, you're chomping at the bit. You're waiting for them to cast the first stone, and then you're gonna just be ready.
When I see someone that I'm ready to say something to, I hope they either do something to me or my teammates so that I can just let it fly and go way over the top and send a message. It's all about sending messages.
See, it's like I also feel like the point of direction for a lot of your profanity, if I know you, it would be at yourself. When you screw up on the sports field, you're probably dropping those words directed back to you. You're like, come on, Semko, get your head in the game.
That was the younger me.
Okay.
That's actually some of that mental part that maybe got me undrafted. I get too into my head. So now I've deflected it to my opponents, which got me much better.
Yes.
If I had only learned that earlier,
only.
Who knows where I'd be? Me and Alex Gordon might be having a podcast right now.
I'm sure. Alex would not succumb to this kind of punishment. This would be community service for him. He would have had to done something wrong. I was like, what's your community service? I got to do a podcast with this guy named Jason. He goes by J-Bear? J-Bear Semko?
What a loser.
I guess we'll just go with that.
10-time Gold Glover.
That's right. Did you look it up?
I'm as boring as can be. Is it 10? Did he really get to 10?
I think he got to 10.
Wow.
I should know this.
I'll
really have this. Hey, our listeners can, fact check us if they want to. Because we don't have a fact guy yet. Did you get our fact guy yet?
No, I'm working on it, though.
Okay.
I got a few irons in the pot.
Irons in the pot.
Irons in the pot?
No, it's irons in the fire.
Iron in the fire. I'm working on it.
Okay, yeah, you work on your analogies while you're at it. While you're looking for the fat guy, try and work on your analogies at the same time.
Work on your cursing.
I will.
Work on your language.
Well, and I'll leave it to where I think profanity is best served, and that's in the car when you're pissed off at everybody else driving around you. Nobody can hear you. You're keeping it to yourself. And it might be very innocuous or it might be directed, but as long as it stops there, you're fine.
No harm, no foul.
This guy over here doesn't know how to use a blinker. It's like, hey, close
with a
enough
few
behind you,
four-letter
buddy.
words.
Yeah, well, you sprinkle them in there. Salt Bay do, where you're just sprinkling on the seasoning. Yeah, you're just seasoning your sentences, is what I like to look at.
Please don't ever bring Salt Bay up here ever again.
I over-seasoned last podcast is what I did with those. So
with salt, pepper, garlic.
I mean, that was
cumin, oregano,
all
everything.
Of them, every seasoning I could find. I just opened up the spice room that I have. I don't have a spice room, spice rack that I have, and I just dumped them all in. I was like, this looks good. Let's add a little bit of this, and let's just see where it goes.
I think most of the curse words, if I'm being honest, before we move on to the first topic, I think it flowed okay. It was more I think the Jaden Daniels every 5 sentences in a row with
I got
the
emotional. That's my guy.
I know. That's why I thought it was great, and I'm glad you did it a little bit so the audience knows that there is a lot of passion behind this. We're not just kind of sitting here and just rattling things off. We got a little emotion behind all these topics.
We're flawed. We're not buttoned up, businesslike. That's why we're not. That's the only reason we're not on like CBS or Fox right now. It's because
we're fine-tuning things.
Yeah.
We'll get better.
We're flawed. We're flawed human beings.
You know who else are flawed human beings?
Please, share.
What appears to be every professional athlete at this point. Because all they want to do is get caught in gambling allegations.
I mean, it's just run rampant and across every sport known to man now.
Only appears to be getting worse. There's only more parties involved. I don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an article recently that 10 Lakers staff members are now being, like, indicted, and you know, we're talking about underground, that's stuff you think you would only see in movies. Underground mafia, like, poker games with celebrities and athletes. I guess sometimes Hollywood really draws from reality, because apparently this is reality now.
And it is only what we have found out, and it's all over the board, from college to professionals. And you know there's probably 10 times more of it going on that just hasn't been dug up yet.
Yeah.
These are probably only the idiots that found a way to get themselves caught.
Yeah. I mean, it's that analogy, right? Where it's like when you see one roach, there's actually like 100 or something like that. So, yeah, it's very much widespread across all sports. And now that the FBI releases out, you know, they're all, delete web history or like delete my app.
It's too late for that.
Yeah, I know.
They're on to you once the FBI
It's just a matter
involved.
of time. Like, you get that knock on the door.
But in reality, does any of this seem worth it?
No. You're talking about people that are getting millions on millions of dollars every single year. For what? For a little skin in the game to say that you move the needle or you move the line? Like, I can't fathom, and I think this is our one agreement for the show, is I think we both can't fathom, what are you thinking? Why would you put all of this at risk for this? Who do you owe? Like, and this is where I'm like, does the mafia get involved? Here comes Conspiracy Bigo. Do they have your wife in a freaking meat locker? And that's why you're like, I have to do this to save my family. Otherwise, there's no reason.
The only thing I could think of, and maybe when more details come out, for some of these guys, maybe like Emmanuel Clase and
yes.
Ramon Ortiz, and maybe even Terry Rozier, is, you know, you hear it all the time, right, as these athletes are coming up. I mean, literally every league has a seminar about how to manage your money. I mean, you literally are going to go from basically being broke to getting millions and millions of dollars. You're going to have 25 uncles that come out of nowhere that want to get paid. Your friends want money. Is this just a case of having your cake and eating it too, where you're not going to give your friends, relatives the money, but you're going to help them win money?
So you're thinking that it's their friends and relatives that they're like, I'm going to throw this many pitches on this inning.
I got to believe that. I think the Terry Rozier, I think it has come out that it is someone involved was a personal longtime friend.
Gotcha.
But also, too, I want to get in, and I know you do a little bit of sports betting yourself on these prop bets, which seem fun, but how could they not have led to all of this? How would you not partner with your buddy just to be like, hey, yeah, so first at bat, I'm going to throw under 97 miles an hour. Bet on that, right?
I mean, that shows you to the extent and just how ridiculous some of these prop bets have gotten, right? I can understand like an anytime touchdown score or like hitting a home run, because that's not something you can fake. You will yourself to do that. But the over-under on pitch count, or it's like when I see the NBA stat lines, it's like, this guy's going to get 2 rebounds instead of 3 rebounds, and it goes up by like plus 250. And I'm like, who's making these up and who's betting on this? Now I know. It's the people that are fixing the books right here. They're the ones that are like, this is why these props exist. Because that way these people can be, that are just complete degenerates or complete underhanded tie-ins. Well, I know he told me that he's hurt, or he told me that he's going to sit out in the fourth quarter, so I know that I can put him as 0 rebounds or 0 assists, and then I'm going to hit on the under. And it's all the unders. All the unders on the props is what can be controlled, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, obviously, when we talk about this, because I know this has also been brought up in discussion about the government getting involved with these sports betting bets of just doing away with props altogether, right? Prop bets going bye-bye.
You have to.
I don't want to do that because I love my prop bets, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks that. But what I'm saying is that let's just remove the under props, only over props. Like, they can only go over this, and that's what you can bet on, because then you're motivating these players to do their damnedest.
The game will never be better.
It'll never be better. Everyone will score 100 points. Absolutely.
Do you think you could do that?
No. That's an idealistic world that I live in of sports betting. I don't think that's actually realistic, but I also don't think it's realistic to think that they're going to find a way to do away with prop bets altogether. I think that something's going to change, maybe. I don't know, or maybe this is the reason they're releasing all this information is to scare these athletes straight. But I think that losing their contracts and losing their guaranteed money would be scared enough. Do you know? You mentioned Emmanuel Clase. Do you know how much he's going to make? What his contract is right now?
I'm going to say he's making at least $20 million.
5-year contract, $20 million. For what? I'm sorry. It's like, unless you got some Ocean 11's trickery going on, you're not betting 20 mil on a pitch count without raising a whole bunch of red flags. So why are you sacrificing this life-changing amount of money for pennies?
That's why I got to believe you're trying to help out friends. But also, too, and I know you're not putting up gigantic money, but I saw that one of the bets for Class A, it was literally like a guy put $4,000 that the first pitch of the at-bat would be
like a ball
and less than 97.5 miles per hour. And I guess the batter actually swung at the pitch for a strike. Like, the guy texted him, Emmanuel Clase, I can't believe he swung at that. And Clase sends like a smiling emoji. Do people really put $4,000 on a bet like that?
I think that's what probably draws the attention of the FBI when they're like, okay, this is an incredibly high amount of money that they're betting on a very specific stat.
Yes.
Like, how do you not think you're going to get caught?
But are there that many degenerates out there?
There are, yes. Oh my God. That's why I don't think that you'll see sports betting be affected too much by all of this. They're just going to say, hey, these are a couple of bad apples in the batch that are making really, really bad decisions. And then just let's keep moving, because it's making so much money on these. So many people are betting on every game.
It's driving revenue for the league.
Obviously, the sports betting apps, states that have allowed betting, they're seeing a lot of the kickback money as well. Not kickback money, but the revenue behind it. So there's so many big players involved that are lining their pockets with this. It's not going away. Again, they're just going to catch people as they go. The Class A thing, Calvin Ridley betting, we remember that a couple years ago.
That was basically the start of it all.
But
him doing that.
The start of it all was Pete Rose. Way back when.
Yeah.
And and again, if losing your job plus being banned from the sport that you love to play, if that is not a deterrent enough, what is? Getting rid of the sports betting apps is not going to do that.
I think that's part of the problem. Is I don't think, and I think it was Nikola Vucevic on the Bulls.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. He said two things that I really took kind of to heart. One was, he said it really sucks now, the game atmosphere, where guys used to kind of say, hey man, like, have a great game, rooting for you, put up another double, and I hope you guys win. Now he's like, all you hear are, hey, make sure you grab 15 rebounds today. I got $100 on this. And I get it, right? The guy makes $30-some million a year. But for 82 games, that's got to be a little bit annoying to hear, right?
You think about it in the stadiums, right? If there are a lot of degenerates and bettors that are going over and under, and if they see the score change to a certain point, you'll hear people boo as your team is winning. And you're just like, what are we doing here?
You're not there to actually enjoy the game.
You're just watching your bet. Is what you're doing.
Might as well have just stayed at home.
Yeah.
But then also he said something where the league really hasn't prepared the players for any of this. How to really stay away from it, how to counteract it, how to deal with this happening all the time. And I can't help but think that the leagues, especially like the NBA, they just wanted to find a way to generate so much more money. I hope that you're happy that getting DeAndre Ayton, who's been on 3 different teams now, $43 million a year. Do you know who Emmanuel Quickly is?
Yes.
He makes $30 million a league to be on some awful team. I hope the NBA is happy that it got these guys that much money, because the headache that they're going to deal with, and not even pretend to help these guys out or find a way so that these problems don't occur. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth finding that quick buck to drive your league. I hope in the long run it's going to work out for you.
I mean, it's devastating because I love the NBA.
You're
It
the
is my
number one biggest fan.
Yeah. I love it so much.
Our Wizards, oh my God, they've only won like 2 games this year.
I don't care. I've just come to grips that this is my team for the entirety of the rest of my life. That's what it's going to be. This is just one of the many reasons why the NBA, in my mind, is just completely unwatchable right now. These role players we're getting off on a tangent, but I like this tangent because I hate the NBA. Guys that play 10 minutes a game are getting paid $6 million a year. That's insane. Do the minute by minute paycheck of what they're getting paid by minute. By minute, they're getting paid like $30,000 a minute.
I know this was 20 years ago now, but I just saw something that the Lakers wanted him to take a pay cut and earn $20 million a year. The fact that some of these guys, almost half the league, makes more than that now for being nothing but a journeyman. I got another guy on here, Jeremy Grant, $32 million a year. What has he ever done? For anyone out there that knows who Jeremy Grant is.
Is it Jeremy or is it Jeremiah? Jeremiah Grant. Is it with the I at the end?
That's the problem. I don't even know exactly how to pronounce the name, and he's making $32 million. He's making more than Shaquille O'Neal ever made in a season.
You compare that between like different industries. He's getting paid more than Brad Pitt in movies.
Yes.
The biggest box
to
office.
Not be the star, to be a bench player.
Just take that into effect that is how much money the NBA is just throwing around right now. And to your point, they're not investing any of that money in player care. How many of those players are going to be bankrupt within 5 years of their retirement?
The NBA, these organizations really don't care. They stay around forever. The players come and go. So as long as their organization is continuing to produce the profits, continuing to get the viewership that they want and the revenue, they really could care less what happens to these players when they leave.
Yeah, they're just walking money bags, just coming through the door and leaving out the back. And it was like, we'll see you on the back end when you're in that poverty line right there. It doesn't end at the NBA. You know, we've seen it across all sports, right? We've seen the sports betting fiascos, obviously. In baseball now, it's very hot topic with Emmanuel Clase, one of the best closers in the league. Again, we talked about Calvin Ridley getting it a couple years back, and he wasn't even betting on his own props. So what was he betting on? It's like the wins, like if he was
betting on
win.
his own team to win.
So he was betting for the positivity. He wasn't like throwing games. So
that's the only reason why it was only a 1-year ban.
Yeah, that's why he's still in the game right now. To your point, what are they actually doing when they're coming to this league? It's like, watch out, and these are the warning signs, and this is what you need to look out for. And if somebody comes to you and asks you for a favor, like, hey, what do you think you're going to do today? Be very, very cautious about what you say. Because you're going to get roped in.
That's why. That is the reason why there's the NFL injury reports. Even before gambling and betting was really legal like it is, when it was really just Vegas and Atlantic City and maybe a few other places, that's the only reason why those reports came out, was for gambling purposes. Yeah. I always famously, Lee Corso on College Game Day, whenever he'd say something to the effect of, closer than the experts think, it was all about Vegas. Yeah. So gambling has always been around.
It's just much more at the front now.
It was always so taboo. It was like these players felt like they were going to get fined, taken to the league office, lectured for 3 days, if you even mentioned gambling or mentioned Vegas. But now everyone has to have a partnership with these guys. Everyone has to do commercials for this. You're so embedded now. It almost just makes sense that a guy like Chauncey Billups now is running or part of some underground poker ring with high technology of reading cards and alerting people as to what's going on. Because you're in it now every day. These players now, they hear DraftKings all day and how easy people are making money. How could you not have your friends that used to ask you for money now be like, hey man, can you just not throw a strike on your first pitch for me and I'll put some money on it and I got some bills to pay? How easy would that be, though?
Fair. Instead of, just having it come out of your pocket directly, you're just like, well, I'm not hurting anything. And it's like, I was still planning on throwing a strike on that first pitch. So now I'm just letting them know that I'm planning on throwing a strike.
Really kind of tarnished the game. And I'll watch some not top 10 highlights now. And almost always the first comment is, so did this happen because they had like a prop bet that they didn't want to see? And I don't think that's really true, but it does make you kind of think.
Yes, I do believe that you're right in the sense that, it's very much more in the limelight now, right? Sports betting is the buzz. You got your boy LeBron James and Kevin Hart doing DraftKings every 5 minutes.
It's FanDuel or DraftKings every other episode.
Gronk's got his kick promotion every Super Bowl was FanDuel, where, you know, is he going to make it? Is he going to miss it? That type of thing. Here's my counter on it, though. Is it being so prominent and so evident right now? Is it better regulated? Because you mentioned the gambling's always been around, right? I mean, all the way back to the Black Sox. You got Pete Rose, and it's just, maybe it was just as rampant with the athletes. It just, they weren't getting caught. And now they are. So maybe the argument that I would make is that now that it's far more present and visible, that we're actually seeing these people get reprimanded more frequently than just skating right by. I bet you there are a ton of... Lenny Dykstra seems like a guy that was betting on every other game for the Phillies. I mean, he was just a degenerate in every form of the word. And I'm sorry for the random shot at Lenny Dykstra.
Wow.
But
almost every episode, someone just
they're
catches
just
a
getting out
stray.
of nowhere. But come on, Lenny Dykstra, he knows what he did.
He does.
But, I mean, they would definitely have been betting on this. What about David Wells when he pitched the perfect game and he admitted he was drunk? It's like, I bet you he bet on that game. He's like, I'm definitely going to go at least 8 innings.
That would be funny if there was a betting aspect to that. Bad enough he got drunk at a Metallica concert.
He's like, I just got to power this through because I said I was going to, so I got to hit that bet.
Well, if there's ever motivation that you need. I will say this to also kind of maybe agree a little bit. Maybe this is weeding out and sending a message that, yeah, so guys, having a buddy put $4,000 on one pitch, guys, that's going to get found out. So either knock it off.
Doesn't matter how slick you think you are.
Or you got to get a lot smarter, and you got to start somehow losing a little bit of money. You got to spend money to make money. Chris Hunter once told me that. Famous quote.
You got to spend money to make money, absolutely.
Scratchers, you know?
Oh, is that what it came from? Again, we're just another form of gambling right here. How many scratchers has Seabear purchased in his life? Over under. Let's do an over under right here. How many scratchers, and I'm sure he'll let us know once he hears this podcast, how many scratchers in his lifetime has he bought?
I'm going to go over 500.
Oh, God, I'm thinking closer to 800. 800 easy, because I saw him in his prime 5 at a time.
That is true. It might be over 1,000.
Let's put the over under on 800.
Okay.
And then it sounds like we're both over on this.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see if that bet hits. See, we're betting. This is so meta. We're doing a bet on a betting segment.
See how easy it is?
It is pretty easy. I mean, but idiots in NFL and in all sports, it's not new. There are idiots everywhere, right? And I mean, we've got a couple of grade A idiots that used to be NFL pros.
Boy, oh boy, these two.
Like, take your pick on who. Let's start with your true boy, Antonio Brown. You heard about the story. You heard that he got extradited. First of all, I forgot that he was living in the UAB.
I guess neither one of us follows him on social media.
Yeah, no, he's not a follow. No.
I've heard occasionally he throws out something decently funny, but then the rest is just a little racy, little
offensive,
misogynistic.
Very offensive.
Yeah.
It's 90% offensive and then 5% funny and then 5% what the hell is he talking about?
That's kind of the vibe I got too.
Yeah.
But it just follows a line of where it was headed, sadly. I don't know. I can't help but be sad for the guy because he just won't want to get any help. It's pretty obvious that when Vontaze Burfict hit him and concussed him, everything went downhill. And sadly, to his own detriment, if the guy just admitted that he maybe had some head problems, public opinion might feel bad for the guy. But he just doubles down.
But do you think that's a symptom of having like CT?
Erratic behavior?
Just not believing that you have CT. Is that a symptom where you're just like, I'm not crazy, you're crazy?
Probably not wanting to listen to what everyone else has to say and be contrarian to it. That probably sounds like a
little
symptom.
AB on his shoulder is like, you're not crazy, you're doing great.
Yeah, everyone's telling you you're this. Well, you're the opposite because you're Antonio Brown, because you were probably for a 5-year stretch up there with one of the greatest 5-year stretches in NFL history for a wide receiver.
Yeah, he was. But sadly, this is what he's going to get known for.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a laundry list of things, I know you did, of things after this hit.
Yeah.
And by the way, Vontaze, he should be locked up for some of the hits that he was throwing out there on the field.
I hate Juju Smith-Schuster with a passion. All he really cared about was dancing
He
more
did
than
like
anything
dancing.
else.
Yes, he's a
Too
dancer.
much. And Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon guy. Every celebration was some Pokemon dance. You're a professional athlete, dude. Grow up.
Okay, all right. Didn't touch the nerve.
A little bit. But, man, when they set up a play for him to come over and crack back Vontaze Burfict and just pancake him and stood over top of him, I mean, I couldn't have been more proud.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him. But, yeah, that guy should have been out of the league a long time ago. Antonio Brown, of course, wasn't going to pay some child support.
Shocker.
Ended up him and a buddy tried to rob and carjack a guy's moving truck.
Yeah, wasn't that his house or something like that?
Yeah, and then ended up throwing furniture out on the balcony. Tried to own an arena football league
I
team.
remember that. And he did own an arena football league, and then he never paid the players.
Never paid the players, didn't want to pay anybody any money. And it's like, every time something comes out, he's always the victim. It's like, dude, there's like 10 more things I could rattle off. Who else puts themselves in these kind of situations? You're at some underground boxing match in Miami wearing all kinds of expensive jewelry, bling, I think the kids say. Maybe not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
Riz, is that a thing?
No, Riz is not jewelry, you dum-dum. Riz is
Whatever.
like being like swagger. Riz is like swagger. You should know that king of swag, Sam Go.
So I'm Riz. A good rapper from the Atlanta area, by the way.
Oh, geez. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get back on topic.
That's a Ritz. Sorry.
Wow. The cracker?
Yes.
Delicious.
He was a white guy.
Put that on a little cheese whiz on that Ritz cracker. Yeah. Listen to some Ritz while I'm eating some Ritz. Now we're talking.
I got a good night ahead of me after
I've got
this
my
pod.
Saturday afternoon ready to roll.
But anyway, yeah, Antonio Brown, it was just, how could you not sit there and just think that this all happens to you because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then all of a sudden you're at some underground boxing match and someone talks trash to you, and of course, you can't just say, I'm Antonio Brown, I'm better than this, be gone. You had to get into an altercation and then try to shoot him.
Yeah. Chase him down a freaking hallway with a loaded gun and open fire. Are you insane? And the answer is yes. He is insane.
According to him, he's not, and it had nothing to do with him playing football.
I mean, this is, again, to your point, there's a certain aspect of, okay, this is horrible. Horrible that this premier athlete has had so much brain damage from the sport that he played for such a long time that we all enjoyed watching him play, has now turned his brain into mashed potatoes, and he's just... You remember the whole like Britney Spears conservation where it's like she had somebody. He needs that. He needs somebody that's just making all of his decisions. Only problem is that's probably the most dangerous job in the world right now. Being in Antonio Brown's conservationist, you are going to get killed.
Yes. He's going to threaten you and shoot at you.
But I mean, he needs that just because, I don't know. I don't love the guy, but again, talent's a talent. I'm not saying that I want to see him get off. He needs to pay for what he did. And if he really tried to kill a guy or a girl, whoever it was, he needs to pay for that. It doesn't matter what his defense is. If he wants to use the insanity defense, he might have a good case.
He would if he had been talking that was an issue for so long. But
Well, all he needs is one doctor, one brain surgeon, one therapist to say, yeah, this guy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
maybe Tom Brady will say that about him.
Just turn on his old Pizza Hut commercials where he was dancing with Juju. Watch me.
That was
They'd be
insanity
like,
to
he's
watch.
crazy. Yeah.
He's
It's like, what are we watching right here? Yeah. But again, he wasn't the only one who made a horrible, horrible decision. This one's a little bit more recent.
This one might be worse.
I mean, just from the lunacy of it all. Your boy, Mark Sanchez.
My boy.
Yeah, your boy.
He was a Washington Commander. Great.
God, don't remind me. He was on our team, wasn't he? Everybody knows the story by now. But yes, we'll start out from the beginning. Let's go through how it was released to the public, right? Everybody was like, oh no, Mark Sanchez. Apparently, while preparing for the Indiana game in Indianapolis, he was mugged and stabbed, and he's in the hospital clinging to life. And everybody's, oh my God, Mark Sanchez.
Everyone's Team Sanchez.
I was like, I hope his wife's okay and hope he's doing okay. And then Mark Sanchez, surprisingly quiet, right? And I thought that was kind of odd. When everybody was doting over him, he was, thanks, don't worry about me. Stop talking about me. Like, don't even worry about it. We're good. And then soon enough, it came out that, no, he wasn't the victim. He was the aggressor. And he decided to walk down a dark alley to intercept a truck driver, like a 65, 55-year-old truck driver. Just trying to do his job. He was unloading whatever he was at the local hotel, and Mark Sanchez, obviously probably under the influence. I don't know if that's been assumed or reported yet, but that's my assumption.
I think it's widely accepted that he was heavily under the influence.
That he decided that he was the bodyguard for the hotel. And I can tell you from personal experience where I pretended in an inebriated state that I was a bouncer or a security guard.
You did help try to send people out the door at closing time.
I did. Get them out. That's right. Not the best of ideas. And sure enough, what happened was he tried to pull this guy out of the truck and drive the truck. And he said, "Oh, I talked to the manager. You're not supposed to be here." And the guy's like, "What are you doing? Get out of my cab." And
vigilante justice.
I guess, yeah, he's Batman. He's Indianapolis Batman. Ooh. Yeah, that's a TV show you'd watch. And of course, he gets stabbed. Not of course, but I mean, if a trucker's probably got some kind of weapon on him.
They better, because
they're dealing with these lunatics probably in every major city that they're going into. So I don't blame the truck driver for defending himself. And cause and effect, he lost his freaking job at Fox Sports. Cushy job. Those jobs on like the talking heads on those like Sunday mornings and those Saturday morning shows, the cushiest of jobs of all time.
They say maybe 10 sentences worth of information in an hour-long show.
That's probably been regurgitated by 5 other people 500 other times.
The best gig, though, I have to say, is like the Sunday night halftime show when it was like Tony Dungy and Drew Brees and someone else on the field. They answer 2 questions because most of halftime is someone else going over the highlights from the previous day. And then they go to first of all, it's halftime. There's a commercial break. And they come back to the studio that does the halftime replays of all the games from the day. So it's really long. Then they go to a commercial break, come back to these 3 jokers that are in their business casual for 2-minute segment, and then they go, second half kickoff is coming next. And that's all you saw of Drew Brees. And how much was he making? $5-6 million a year?
Whatever it is, way too much. And Drew Brees, God, even those 2 minutes was like watching paint dry. Drew Brees, not the best up there on the mic. Keep him in the huddle, calling plays, slinging it downfield.
At least Peyton Manning off the field throws in a different attitude and mindset and some humor, but Drew Brees, it is just business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, back to Mark Sanchez, at least, and I'm going to steal this from you because we talked about this, and I'm going to do it, is that at least he's now no longer known for the butt fumble. So congratulations. Is this a level up? Is it a level up being the truck driver stabby or the butt fumble guy? What's the better one for him to put on his tombstone right now? That was morbid, but, you know.
That butt fumble was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
But I don't know. Never getting a job in sports ever again. And possibly jail time or something. You might want to be known for the butt fumble.
Yeah. The jail time's a good question because is he going to get jail time or is the public embarrassment enough where the police are like, well, you got stabbed. You lost your job.
The other guy looked really bad in the hospital, though.
Yeah, he did. He did get busted up.
Something really does have to happen.
You're right. You're true. Yeah, and he's going to press charges.
It was just so odd. I saw the video the other day. He is walking away from everything, and then I would love to know in his mind what made him turn around and then just seemingly book it to that truck. Like, what got in his mind to be like, oh, you know what? I got to go handle this.
I got to mess this guy up.
I'm Mark Sanchez. I know I got a big gig tomorrow.
Yeah, this was at like 2 a.m. and he had a gig at like 8. I'm like, get some rest. You're our age. You're an old man. Get some rest.
That's how easy these gigs must be, though, because you don't have to prepare. You can just sit there and say, well, when I was quarterback, I used to do this, so I expect this guy to do that, and then regurgitate that for every single week.
He's got to read off a teleprompter. That's it.
Oh, that too. Someone writes for him.
Well, as you also know, Mark Sanchez wasn't the only high-profile sports guy that lost his job recently. Lost a couple recently. So
it happens every week at this point.
Every week, it's like it's almost numbed us now. It's like we lost all those college football head coaches. We lost Daboll, and now we lost your boy Nico Harrison. Man, jeez, poor old Nico. didn't work out for him. Who knew that Luka trade wasn't going to work out for him in the long run? My goodness.
I will still maintain two things. One, I will still maintain that was the right trade for him to make to at least get Luka out of Dallas.
Get out of here. No.
But unfortunately, because of the situation in Dallas, he was never going to get out of that. And I will go pretty quick. Dallas, so their owners, there are rumors that team might relocate to Vegas.
Really?
Yes, because the owners that bought it from Cuban own a bunch of casinos.
They're
Vegas guys. So already the fan base is not a huge fan of the owners. Jason Kidd does get Luka Doncic is so fun to watch, and what he can do is top 3 in the league. He hits game winners, triple-double, walking, and seemingly is a gamer. So the fans love him so much, and there's no one in the ownership that's even worth rooting for. The GM, I guess they didn't really care for. Maybe Jason Kidd, but Luka Doncic was the king of that city. And the problem was, I got my source, he liked his sweet tea.
Yes.
He didn't like to work out in the offseason. And everyone in Dallas and any Dallas fan seemed perfectly fine because the guy can step back on Rudy Gobert, hit that 3, and then mother F him. I'm not going to use what he said. I'm a professional.
We're getting away with that, yes.
So everyone just was enamored with him and was okay with him coming into camp out of shape. He'll get in shape by the time the season comes along. And he continues to get hurt. He doesn't want to play defense. No one's there to tell him no. Unfortunately, no one in Dallas can tell him no. Not even the owners, because the fans love Luka over him. LA Lakers, Luka Doncic that you see now would never have happened in Dallas. He had to go to basically LA because LA is so much bigger than him. He wouldn't even make it on their Mount Rushmore unless he wins a title.
Well, that in LA is, it's like, oh my God, if we had a fat basketball player on our team, like,
that too.
Ew, gross. No, it's like, let's get you on the Slim Fast, let's get you on the treadmill, let's do some biometrics.
At least some liposuction to at least get you looking better.
No, well, I have a fatal flaw in what your argument is here. I agree that the shock to the system for Doncic is what made him get back into shape. I'll agree with you in that sense that it's like, wow. And I don't think that would happen in Dallas. I mean, they could have suspended him. They could have benched him. They could have done this, but I think that would have just pissed him off. I don't think it would have really light bulb, I got to get my act together. There's also the situation, from what I understand, that there's some animosity when they fired his personal trainer or his doctor. So there is already
some of that, yes.
Hatred there too. So I agree it wasn't going to work out in Dallas. But what really got Nico fired is when he decided, instead of letting it know to the league, hey, he's on the block, he decided to call his buddy up in LA and say, what do you got? I'll give you Doncic for next to nothing. And that's what he did. That is why he got fired. I agree that Doncic needed to go somewhere else to get rejuvenated and reinvigorated, but he could have gone to anybody, and Dallas could have gotten so much more back than an aging Anthony Davis and pieces.
I think Nico would have been either fired or wouldn't have been able to trade Luka if it was known that Luka was on the trading block. Because I don't care who they would have gotten for him. If it was well known that he was on the trading block, Dallas and those fans would have had him fired sooner. So I think it had to be done secretly. It does kind of suck that it went to the Lakers and his buddy Rob Pelinka, but I don't think you could have announced to the world that Luka's up for a trade. It wouldn't have been received well either. I don't know if those fans would have accepted. First of all, better they got a player than 5 future first round picks. They probably could have gotten a better player.
I don't agree with that.
Future first round picks. Look at where the 76ers are now. They really never came close to winning a title, and they've tanked. It's been 10 years since they've tried to tank. The Celtics have barely hit on anybody.
They got a championship in the last 2 years. And the team that won last year did the same thing. They did the future first round picks. We talked about this.
They got Jalen Williams, and 4 other ones didn't work. I don't know if it's...
Dude, on a team of 5, you only need one to work. You only need one to work. You need one superstar. I would have rolled the dice with the futures rather than getting somebody that his prime is over. Anthony Davis is never going to be as good as he was. And what is he right now? He's freaking hurt.
That is the only downside, is the injuries. I'd rather get a player in return.
Well, and the other thing I'm gonna argue with you, dude, is I disagree that if Nico Harrison decided to say, hey, you know what, he's up, he could have done it in channels where it wasn't public knowledge, and even it did. Forget the fans. I'm sorry, I know better than you. Okay,
they fired him. The fan uproar in Dallas is what led to this firing.
That's fine
because
eventually.
Their poor season started, and the fans have been disgruntled ever since then. Even if they probably were 11-2. They'd still be upset and want him fired.
Maybe, but if they're 11-2, they're going to the games. And the ownership is like, hey, you're a genius. And they'll get over it. They will get over it. But the fact that he traded for Anthony Davis got nothing. Kyrie Irving's hurt. Cooper Flag is trying a rookie.
Kyrie Irving got hurt after 2 games after the trade, which really sucked.
The fact of the matter is that if he had actually gotten the most that he could have out of it and given it an opportunity to grow, the argument is that he was fired either way. The way that he did it, did he really think he was going to survive that? No, he was going to get fired when everybody found out that he did this without anybody knowing. And I would argue that made fans more furious because they're like, you did this behind our back. This is the Baltimore Colts, leaving in the dead of night all over again.
Sometimes you got to do what you think is right for the team. Nico had to let Luka go, and I don't think the trade would have happened, because here's what would have happened. He got the okay from the owners. If he let it known that to everyone out there in the world that Luka was on the trading block, the fans would have thrown an uproar and the owner might not have signed off on it. Nico needed to... I think he's a smarter guy than he comes across. I do.
Well, that's a low bar.
I think that was the only way he could have done it. And he had to get him out of Dallas, though. Could he maybe have gotten more? Yes, but I think that's what he had to do. And Dallas, it doesn't matter to me, just as bad, because they would always flame out in the playoffs. They would need the perfect team to be successful.
Not the perfect team.
They seemingly had it when they went to the finals. They had a bunch of guys that could set a bunch of screens, get offensive rebounds for them. They had a few guys that could shoot. Some people that could cover up Luka's poor defense. And then, of course, what did he do that was the final nail in the back for Luka to be gone? Was in the game 5 of the finals, he fouls out, and when he's got the 5th foul, tries to draw a charge. The guy never plays defense. What ref is going to give him a charge call and then whines and complains when he's thrown out of the game? Yeah, get him off my team, man. I'm sorry. You're not going to win with this guy. Not in that city.
A perennial triple-double, just a walking triple-double, one of the best talents of his.
He's only going to get older and continue to get hurt. He's never going to want to play defense. No one's going to motivate him. He's going to come into camp only more out of shape. He was never going to survive there.
And again, I'm agreeing with you on that piece that Dallas was not going to be a good fit. I still think, though, that it could have been better for both if he had gone through the right channels, Nico. And I think that either way, maybe he would have gotten fired, but maybe not. We'll never know what would have come. You dangle a guy like Luka in front of every team in the NBA, and you're going to get every best offer out there. Every best offer.
I don't know if the owners would have then given that okay.
Well, here's a conspiracy that maybe they purposely knew this. Nico's about to do something that's so dumb that he's going to get fired. It's going to piss off the fans, and then it's going to make the move to Vegas that much easier.
We just cracked the mother effing case.
Man, they're going to shut our pod down for cracking this bad boy.
We know too much.
Although it's like Sacramento to Vegas seems like an easier switch. Why wouldn't it be Sacramento going to Vegas? Doesn't the Sacramento owners, don't they have ties in Vegas too?
They might. Dallas is, it's a booming sports city, though. I think it's just the connection with the owners there in Vegas. But I don't know, with all that we just talked about, with all the betting and issues, and quite frankly, a couple of stories that have come out about Fresno State and some of those college kids, I don't know if you really want to have an NBA team or a professional team anywhere close to Vegas right now.
Yeah, seriously. Back on Nico, good luck to him. He'll find some cushy job as VP of player talent acquisition or whatever. It'll be fine. I'm not crying tears. I'm not sobbing for
You don't
Nico.
really care because it's the NBA anyway.
But tell me this then, Semko. He was the architect of this trade and this move and getting the people that he did Tell me then why it was Dable that got the axe for the New York Giants instead of Joe Schoen, the GM for the Giants. He's the one who let Saquon walk. He's the one who decided to pay Daniel Jones. Why does he still have a job? And why is Dable on the street?
Unfortunately, I think it's just who the owner likes more. Dayball rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I think it's one of the reasons why people in Buffalo weren't that upset that he was leaving. I know there were some issues with him and Daniel Jones. I think there were some issues with him and Saquon Barkley in that offense. But you're right. If you're the architect and you're the one that's making the decisions and putting those guys on the field, I mean, maybe also these owners, they're great in some business, but maybe they're not in others. And maybe they thought that Daboll was not coaching that team up to the potential that Schoen was given him. But yeah, I think it's just a personal preference. And sometimes I think it's easier to fire the coach getting, further away from you because you have to deal with that general manager so much more. And that general manager can probably say so many different things to you.
He's got more spin. He's got more spin.
Yeah. And so the further you are away from the owner, I think the easier it is. It's just natural, right?
The thing that kind of sticks in my head, Hard Knocks that they did on the Giants the year that Saquon walked.
Okay.
And there's this one scene in that where Mara, the owner, walks into Schoen's office, and he's like, so we're letting Saquon walk. And he's like, yeah, we're letting Saquon walk. Yeah, I think that's the right move. And he's like, man, he better not go to Philly. And then it happened. It's like, at that point, I was like, why did you not fire him that second? Because any GM should have that kind of wherewithal to understand that if I let him go, where is he going to go? He had to have some kind of inkling that he was going to go to a division rival. That is unforgivable. Like a all-pro talent going into the division and you just let him walk?
And that's some of that problem where we can get into another time where, every NFL team seemingly wanted to hire some young, good-looking, offensive-minded guy.
I was getting many of applications. I know. They're knocking my door down. I know.
Your brilliance is just through the roof.
I know.
Yeah.
As is my beauty.
Some would say. The running back, the whole thing was that was the one position that was less important, less impactful, and I think it just got to the point where it's like we're going to follow all these other guys, and we just want to get running backs on their rookie deal. Even then, Saquon, you could use the injuries. They were kind of some freaky injuries. That, I think, got stuck in that mold of you don't need to win because some of the teams that have won don't need a good running back. And so we want to follow suit with that, even though it's like, well, you've got like a generational talent.
You know what else I think just killed Daboll this year is the rise of Daniel Jones on the Colts. If I was Mara and I saw this guy that we paid and we're like, okay, we're just going to cut him. This is not working. We're just blowing it all up. He just bounced around for like half a season and then starts with the 8-2 Colts. And it's like, all right, it's obviously you. Like, you're gone.
It should be both, but yeah, the coach will go first.
I mean, yeah, it should have been a tag team. Schoen and Dayball should have gone. And the problem is that Mara's probably going to realize that 3 years too late when they're still middling in that 2-15 season.
The Jets want to just keep trying to hire head coaches and maybe clean out your front office.
Yeah.
Same with when Daniel Snyder was with the Commanders. It just hire new head coaches, didn't want to do anything in that dysfunctional. The more time that goes by, the more that comes out just how dysfunctional that front office was. But it's everyone, they're closer to him and they're just spinning things to keep their own jobs.
I wonder if it's also ego because it's like the owner's the one that hires the GM. And then there's the GM that usually hires the coach.
Yeah.
Right? So they're like, it's not wrong with my hiring skills. It's wrong with his, he hired the wrong guy. Let's fire that guy. Forget that.
And then, of course, when Snyder hired Scott McCloughan, wanted to blame it on his drinking as to why to fire him. Just once again, just so that it didn't seem like he made a bad choice.
Yes.
It was, I made the right choice. He's guy got a problem, and I needed to get rid of him for that reason.
All right, well, I want to do predictions real quick here for you. You can pick any major sport. And
European soccer.
No, European soccer doesn't count. Major American sport. One we play here on the good old United old States. So football, baseball, basketball, I'll even throw in hockey. What's the next big firing that you're going to see? And we'll go with head coach or GM. Who's the next one getting the axe? And is it going to be in the regular season?
You know what? The Washington Wizards head coach is going next. How could he not?
We just got him. What's that? So we just got him.
That hasn't really stopped anybody from getting fired.
Yeah.
I think the NFL, is just going to wait till the end of the year and Black Monday at this point. We're so close to the end of the year, I think.
I feel like the NFL owners are more fickle. They're like, I just can't wait. I just want to fire this guy right now. Who would get that axe? The only one that comes to mind, and the one that I was thinking of, is Zach Taylor for the Bengals. And we talked about this before. It's like, is he saving his job because he keeps blaming Burrow's injury as to why he can't win? He's gone through, 3 different defensive coordinators in 4 or 5 years. The defense is still god-awful. They can't get over the hump. They can't beat anybody in their division.
No.
I think it's Zach Taylor. And I hate to say it because he's Nebraska alum.
Thank God the Steelers got over that Flacco curse and took them down today.
Yes, you were relieved, I know.
I was so nervous about that game.
Yeah, he is your Mount Everest, that Flacco.
Can't seem to sweep him in a regular season. But yeah, I think the college football coaching landscape, they're too close to the end of the season to see that firing. I do think the NFL is too close. They're just going to wait it out at this point.
So you're thinking NBA? I mean, NBA, yeah. I feel like they go through those coaches like they go through toilet paper.
They really do. And who are you going to bring in, though, to change a team around at this point when it's just so player-led? Emmanuel Quickly makes $30 million a year.
You're talking about strays. Emmanuel Quickly getting a second shout out. You don't deserve that contract, Emmanuel.
I couldn't say anything what he does, what position he plays. I don't even know what team he's on.
No, neither do I. He was on the Knicks?
I don't think he is anymore. He might be on the Raptors or something. I think he was at some point. I don't even know. But the head coach makes what, $7-8 million a year?
Yeah.
When you've got your bench players,
it's insane,
making 3 to 4 times more than you. Who are they really going to listen to?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like it really makes it harder to be the coach when it's like your players make 10 times more than you.
Yeah, and then you've got.
Why am I going to listen to you? It's like, well, let me see the car that you drive.
Yeah, the house that you live in.
Toyota Camry, 1995 Toyota Camry. It's got great gas mileage. Gets me from where I need to go. Great safety features.
Okay, Alfred Morris.
Hey, man, the butler knew how to get around town, okay?
He was smart because I think he foresaw that he was not going to have a long shelf life.
Well, I mean, no NFL running back usually does.
No. Still has the Commanders franchise rushing record, I think.
He does, which is shocking because we had so many greats come through those halls. Clinton Portis? I don't know.
John Riggins, Stephen Davis, Terry Allen. I'm not even the Commanders fan, and I'm giving you Commanders.
You're the freaking Sports Almanac. What do you want? It's like this Jason Sports Almanac Semco over here.
Well, I will say, Brandon, I think at this point in my career, I think I'm better served possibly as a coach than I am as a player.
Yeah, I think that's a given.
I tried for the first time in about 2 years to go out and play a little soccer.
Okay.
With my good buddy, Todd French.
Ooh, Mr. French.
Kind of rekindling of some past excellences in the indoor soccer realm.
All right, how'd it go?
Well, I was battling a hammy, so when I was told that it was a playoff, but it's only a 25-minute game, and that the team hadn't won all year, so I figured, okay, we're not going to win this game, so I'm only going to play for 25 minutes. I had a great time. I didn't hurt my hamstring. Had almost a great Lionel Messi-type goal.
Okay.
Dribbled around 2 guys, dribbled around the goalie, and then botched the shot.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly him.
I mean, there's just a razor-thin difference between the two of you, obviously.
But I realized afterwards I felt so good, and guys there were nice. They were like, you want to play next season? I said, I'm battling an injury, maybe the following season. I couldn't walk the next day.
Yeah.
Wasn't my hamstring, it was my Achilles.
Oh, your Achilles.
My Achilles.
Was it on the same leg?
Different leg.
Oh, jeez.
But I could barely make it through a shift at work. It hurt so bad, and I couldn't help but think that I just don't know how I used to be able to do it. And then I saw a nice article that the Presidential Physical Fitness is coming back.
It's coming back? It's making a comeback?
Making its rounds back. I think Louisiana and Virginia are the first states to actually implement it.
All right. Flag planners.
Yeah,
Let's
look
go.
at us. And then I got to thinking, I don't know if I could pass any of those requirements.
I can't even remember any of those requirements. The only one that I can remember for the fitness is the pull-ups. And I remember very, very vividly that they allowed chin-ups as well as pull-ups. So that's the only reason I skated by, is that you could do a chin-up, as those workout warriors know, is when the palms are facing you when you're pulling up.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, away from you. That's a pull-up. This is a chin-up. But they allowed chin-ups.
They did.
Once they started allowing chin-ups, I was good to go.
Yeah, I would have to do it that way as well. And I remember I'd be so anal about it that I would go last, and I'd get paper towels and try to wipe it down because of all the other kids sweaty hands.
I don't want to slip off the bar.
I'm going for records here.
Oh man, you weren't even trying to get the check mark.
That was
I made the presidential.
The pull-ups was easy. I could have done that with one hand. I was going for records.
Whatever. Well, so what was there any that were giving you trouble, or were you just acing everything?
I aced everything except for the V sit and reach.
The stretching?
The stretching.
You couldn't stretch?
I take things a little too seriously sometimes. I practiced.
You practiced stretching
at home probably 2 to 3 weeks before the actual test.
I'm imagining your mom come out. It's like, Jason, do you want some orange slices? You're like, Mom, don't come in. I'm stretching.
Yes. After dinner, so we had our fireplace, and the bricks came up off the ground at that time just about as tall as my toes were. So that was perfect to put my feet up against, and I could lean over, and I'd have my dad would make marks on the brick with how far that year I had to go. Jesus. And it was every night after dinner, it was getting in there and stretching.
Was the V-sit, was it a jerking thing? You had to come on, just reach a little further. Or did you have to do it in a fluid motion?
You had to do it in a fluid motion and hold.
Oh yeah, you had to tap and you had to hold.
And then you had to keep your knees straight down.
Yeah.
So my gym teacher, it's she liked me, but didn't.
Liked you?
No, I don't think she swung that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other way.
Traditional gym
teacher. She didn't want to give me anything easy, which I appreciate now. But at the time, I was like, why can't she just? I mean, I felt like I had to hold it, my arms out over my feet for what felt like 15 seconds, and would push my knees down and always be nope, it's not down, until I was about to probably snap my hamstrings. But by God, every year I skated right on by.
You did, all right. Now, again, I don't remember these things, but the presidential fitness test, did you get a diploma or a medal, or did you get anything that you could you got hanging up on your walls at home right now?
Well, they're not hanging. I have them all. All 8.
All 8 from elementary school?
Yeah.
All right. Living in the past.
I was the first one at our school to get all 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Breaking records and breaking hearts. I'm sure you were bringing those. Oh, what's this? Oh, on your first day. Oh, it's no big deal. It's
I brought them into
the presidential fitness test diploma.
First day of high school. Brought that one that had the number 8 engraved in there.
Yeah.
Thought I was big man on campus.
Man, yeah, top freshman of the pecking order.
I got humbled pretty quickly.
Look at this loser roll around with his diploma from President Fitness Club. Hey, why don't you go marry the president, jerk? Oh, why?
Went home crying, wanted to transfer schools.
You're like, Dad, it's chalk up the fireplace. I got to stretch more.
I don't know if I could do... I don't think I could do the shuttle run now.
What was give us the marks. What's the shuttle run? Is there a time? What do you got to get it done?
You got to get in a time. I think it was something where it was maybe 10 yards apart, run down, touch the ground, back again, down, back, and then you had to sprint maybe 30 more yards to a finish line or something. Mm-hmm. Showing some quickness.
Yeah.
That was always a pretty easy one, but now I'm
that quick twitch.
Start, stop. That hamstring would go.
Or that Achilles.
Or
snap.
The Achilles. Something
right
would go.
Pull a Kobe.
Yeah.
Go down.
And then come back and not be nearly as quick, fast.
I mean, the fear of that, right, is snapping Achilles is that's a rehab that's just going to take forever.
It still takes a year.
Yeah.
And then I think a year to kind of quasi get back. It's a 2-year injury.
That's also if you've got world-class physical therapists and doctors and whatnot, it's you're going to the local family, pediatrician probably is like give you a lollipop after you're done. It's like, well, that doesn't look good.
They're not injecting me. I'm not going to Germany.
You're not getting cortisone. You're not cutting off the Achilles of a 10-year-old nubile boy. You're that's what
they do.
That's what they do.
In
you
Germany?
Know that? Yeah, absolutely. Google it. I don't know. Yes. It's a conspiracy theory. We'll get into more conspiracy theories on some of these shows because I do like me a good CT or conspiracy theory. If
we can if you got a little more time.
Ooh, I've always got time for you, Jason Semko.
So much. We probably could have segued into our sports gambling conversation, but we can go back to it. Weave
it in. Yeah.
Any more credence now with all this gambling to Michael Jordan?
I mean, we were talking about this offline or off pod or off kilter. You know, we were talking about how gambling has been around since the dawn of sports, right? It's always been some kind of sports gambling. So we started talking about the whole exodus of Michael Jordan from the NBA and how out of left field, pun intended, because he went and played left field, I think, for the minor league team for the White Sox.
The Birmingham
Barons. Because, you know, when you're driving those Ferraris and living it up in the Four Seasons and flying first class, you want to get on that minor league bus from Birmingham.
If I was so much better than anyone in the field,
the greatest
that I'm in,
of all
I'd
time
have to
in my
out.
It's like I wanna be with the salt of the earth people, the people that are making $400 a month traveling around trying to make it to the big show.
I want to challenge myself with them. I want to get down to their level.
So again, the running conspiracy theory is that the reason he had to do that is because he had a chronic gambling addiction, and the NBA found out about it, and they're like, we either have to suspend you for 2 years, or you can go out and create your own story. And that's what everybody assumes that he did. He went out and was like, I'll just go play baseball for a couple of years.
There is definitely, I think, there's really no proof that that's what happened. But there is some credence to the fact that I think, let's call them lowbrow gamblers. I don't think maybe they were with the mafia, maybe not.
I mean, most lowbrow mafia, yeah, they are.
But when some of these guys, bookies, places were raided that had bad connections in the underworld, there were checks from Michael Jordan that they confiscated for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And some of the people that he was with were pretty shady. Say what you will with that, but when you're dropping that kind of money with that kind of people, it doesn't probably take much for there to be a big scandal with, the league is not what it is now. You can say what you want about the NBA, but it is a global business and highly profitable. Back then, it was still trying to get its footing, and Michael Jordan was by far the biggest name in sports, and if something came out negative about him, could put the NBA back into like the early 70s.
Yeah, I do agree that's where you could see where there might be smoke where there's fire, right? It's like, it's commonly known that he was a degenerate gambler.
Yes.
That is not in question here. Everybody knows that this guy would gamble on every instance he could possibly find. You saw The Last Dance. He's throwing quarters up against the wall, and he's trying to beat like some guy that's probably like, checking tickets at the stadium. Like, he would bet with anybody at any moment, at any time, for any amount of money whatsoever. So the fact that he was a degenerate gambler is not in question. The question is that did it get out of hand? And I'm sorry, at the amount of gambling that he was doing, I cannot assume that it did not get out of hand in multiple occasions. So I do think there's credence. I do think there's something to be said about he was the most profitable player in that league by a mile.
Why would you give all of that up?
It's like, we have to make this quiet or the NBA is toast.
Yes.
Like, if we let it be known that the greatest player of all time has been gambling on all the games whatsoever, or any kind of gambling in any sort of derogatory, light, then yes. But I'm going to spin another conspiracy theory for you. What about the whole Space Jam conspiracy theory that I concocted, right? I think that it was the long game. He went to play baseball for 2 years to create the backstory of Space Jam. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Space Jam, is that these aliens from outer space came and wanted to, long story short, scoop up the Looney Tunes and take them back to the world and entertain them. And then they challenged them to a basketball game. And they're like, well, we're not very good at basketball games because we're these tiny little aliens. They're like 2 inches tall. But we're going to go absorb the powers of all the greatest basketball players in the known universe. So they went to the games and they saw the best athletes and they zapped their powers. But Michael Jordan was off playing baseball, so they couldn't find him and zap his power. They didn't know he was the greatest of all time. So he got to team up with the Looney Tunes and beat those space aliens. And all of that would not have happened if it wasn't for him playing minor league baseball. Boom.
So Warner Brothers Studio was behind all of this.
Yes, you got it, man.
It made for a great movie.
Great movie. Underappreciated movie.
Very underappreciated.
You had Bill Murray. You had Newman from Seinfeld.
You did for a brief moment, I think. And the fact that, I mean, we're going to get into him at some point. LeBron just tried to steal everything from that great movie is just one of the litany of reasons why he just will never be Michael Jordan. LeBron did not leave a sport for 2 years to try something else to set the stage for his movie.
He also probably is, again, one of these squeak guys. We're going to go back to the full circle. It's like LeBron also seems like super squeaky clean. He probably doesn't swear too much. He's doing like social media as Taco Tuesday and all this stuff. And it's like there's something underneath the surface there that's just not right.
There has to be. I don't know whose boy he can be. Maybe neither. But Screamin' A. Smith has basically been like, he's tried to get me kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
Multiple times. If you don't think that LeBron has to have the biggest ego in the game, then you're out of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, there's just no way he hasn't made it this far in all these different places he's been without doing something that's going to hopefully come out that just gets more people hating him.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
He just wants to be the most likable player in the NBA. That's just his type. Whereas, again, you look at a counterpart like KD, and he's like, I love being the heel. I love being the one that everybody can't stand. And I love that part of me.
I do. And I like that more about Kevin Durant than I do about LeBron. Because LeBron just seems too fake and corny.
Yeah, he does seem like a bit of a cornball. Yeah. I'd never say it to his face, but you might.
I think I would.
You'd be looking up from his like shins, like, hey,
yeah, I know,
cornball.
I'm not gonna lie, it might be intimidating looking at like a 6'8" guy, like 260 pounds. I probably would quiver a little bit, stutter, but I'd get it out there. I don't like you.
You're a cornball. What did you say?
Okay, bye.
And then you just run off, and then you blow your hammy. I'm a hammy. Oh,
and then he'd easily just run me down and kick my ass.
And then, he would show his 8 years strong presidential fitness diplomas. I bet you he's got 10.
We probably have that in common. Maybe I talked to him about that.
Yeah. Try and get LeBron on the show. I mean, it's far overdue.
I think maybe we could have a point-counterpoint conversation.
Yeah, with this random guy named Jason Semko that I've never heard of, that's never played any professional sports in his entirety of his life.
Overconfident. You might like that.
Hey, you are. You're flipping over to the overconfident side. I'm proud of you. It's the place to be.
I'm going to have to come at it from that angle with him.
There you go. Yeah.
Make him feel like, why has this guy got so much confidence?
I think you got a better chance of trying to be like the white Kevin Hart. Like, he obviously loves Kevin Hart, so just start working on your stand-up comedy right now. Okay.
Everything's going to be about how short I am.
Yes.
I can laugh at myself.
Yes.
Super self-deprecating.
Very self-deprecating.
I think I can do that.
Yeah. Get his attention, do a show in Cleveland or I guess LA now.
Yell a little bit, jump around.
Yeah. Give him a shout out if he's in the stands because he wants to be, he wants the attention. And there you go. You got your...
It actually doesn't sound that hard to be Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I kind of like Kevin Hart, but maybe
his old stuff was pretty good. I saw one of his later stand-ups. My wife and I, it wasn't that great.
I do not love that he's just hawking everything that you can imagine now. He's like Verizon.
Someone's got to fill Samuel L. Jackson's shoes.
Well, Sam's still doing it. He's doing it well. Capital One.
Oh boy, what's in your wallet?
Yeah. Sam Jackson, that's what's in my wallet.
Are you listening, Capital One?
Yeah.
We're in Richmond. You're based in Richmond.
Yeah, we got friends that work at Capital One. Come on. We've already got the in. There's a tie-in right here.
We're going to get some cease and desist.
Stop using our name on your paltry podcast.
First email from anybody will come from Capital
We made
One.
it. Oh, it's our second troll. Capital One was our second troll.
I count that as more success. Move over, David Bear. We got Capital One.
You know,
on us.
by the way, David Bear is a perfect troll because he's about as hairy as a troll from the neck down. So he's got that troll hairiness going for him already.
He's got like a little bit of like a limp when he runs as well.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's already got the, a lot of the similarities.
People are probably painting like a really rough picture. Sorry, David.
It's fine. He's just happy he got a shout out. I think this is David Bear's first shout out on the podcast.
It absolutely is.
You made it, buddy.
Well, he actually didn't even listen to the first episode when it came out. It took him a little while.
It did.
A little disappointed in that. No, that's why I don't feel so bad us bringing it up.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
you're making it seem fair now.
Moved on past it.
There you go, man.
Well, Brandon, this has been another wonderful episode.
It's been a great. I still don't know if Kurt Emery is listening. So, Kurt, get on the pod, man. I don't know what you're doing. Let's get on this thing, man.
Email us. Let us know you're alive and
God.
how you're doing.
Yes.
We need to know. I think the listeners
The
kind of want
public needs to know.
Our 18 subscribers need to know.
They're going to start putting up wanted posters all over town. It's like, where's Kurt Emery? No picture. Just probably butchering the spelling of his last name. All the things.
He'll know, though, that we're out there looking and that we care.
Yeah, we're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, with our heads. And with
And
our
our
hearts. Yeah.
And with our...
Hey, all right. Hey, this is a clean episode, Jason. Thank goodness we're not on video, so I didn't see where you were pointing right there. Shame on you.
Pointing to my elbow.
Oh, is that what it was?
My weenus.
All right, we squeezed weenus into the show. All right, so I think we've made it. There you go.
I think so. Any last words?
No, I don't think I do. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. Anything more might be profanity ridden, so I'm just going to, wrap it up and just leave it up to you, big guy.
Wonderful. I'm not going to forget that I actually didn't get the apology that I asked to get in the beginning of the segment.
And nor will you ever.
No, then payback is going to be a bitch at some point.
Oh, all right. Shame on you. There are people listening that might find offense to that
If they
word.
make it this far in the podcast, this is my way of testing if they actually listened all the way through.
All right, well, since we're in the holiday season and it's, it's turkey season, right? And, I'm very sensitive to other people's, beliefs of meat and not eating meat. So instead of saying yourself, I'm going to say go turkey yourself and have a great Thanksgiving.
Well, that's another episode of Undrafted and Overconfident. Thanks for hanging with us. The two friends have been arguing about sports for 20 years and still can't agree on anything. Hit that follow button, drop a rating, and we'll see you next week. Different takes, same nonsense. Thanks, y'all.
Peace.